Hello, this is Adam, and I just want to talk about COVID-19. So, COVID-19 is spreading throughout the world, and um, it's inevitable, it's unavoidable. You will probably get COVID-19 no matter where you are in the world. It's going to happen. Um, in the United States, even though we did the lockdowns, we had, you know, even with the lockdowns, um, we had by May 1, 68,000 people die in America. Um, I think with the states opening up, I think there's going to be a little bit more deaths, but I don't think it's going to be. I hope it's not exponential, but I think once we get out of this, once we get a vaccine, by the time we get a vaccine, I think already 40 to 70% of Americans by that time will already have been infected by the virus, and we would almost have herd immunity. So by the time we get a vaccine, I think 40 to 70% of, let's just say 50% of 300 million is like 150 million or something, right? So you take the 150 million people, and this virus has a 1% death rate, right? So 150 million, 10% of that is, you know, 15 million probably. And then another off of that is 1.5 million, right? So I don't think it's going to be quite 1.5 million people that are going to die in America. I think probably at the high end, maybe 300,000 people dying in America by the time the vaccine comes out next year. And I think that's going to be the most it's going to kill. I really hope so because it's just it just has a very low mortality rate. Now, were the lockdowns necessary? I don't know. That's arguable because in Sweden they're not doing. They didn't do the lockdowns, but they had a lot of deaths. Right? They had like 3,000 deaths in a country that's like 10 million people. That's the same as like you know basically our country having probably about a million deaths or something in our country. That would be the same as their country having 3,000 deaths. Percentage wise, probably. So that's a lot for their country, but already in Sweden, they already basically have herd immunity, so they got over it really fast. They already have like I think 70% of the people already have gotten infected in Sweden with coronavirus, and so those people just go out of the population, and the people who aren't sick get infected. So now the virus is quickly dying in Sweden, which is a good thing. But I don't know. I don't know. I just think this whole Corona thing it is a big deal, but it's inedible. It's unavoidable. Regardless if you stay in your house all the time, you're gonna have to go out to go to the grocery store. You're gonna have to go out to go to work eventually. And regardless if you go out now in May, June, or in December, it's still going to be there. Even when the vaccine is out, it's still going to be there. It's still going to be killing people. It's just not going to be killing people as much as it is now. And it always changes day by day. This coronavirus, they're saying like 200,000 cases per day could be happening in America by June, but we don't know that. See, the thing is, the cases have been going down in America, and now all of a sudden people are thinking that it's going to go up. I don't know. Maybe it will, but if it does start going up, I don't know if we can do quarantine again. I really don't think we can do quarantine again. I mean, I think we should just quarantine the elderly. We should quarantine the sick, the people who get sick have to get quarantined, and everyone who was with them has to get in quarantine. But I think the rest of the population just has to go out there and go to work. And you can't just survive off of nothing. even with the government subsidies, the government doesn't have an infinite amount of money. So I don't know what to do. I mean, it sucks for everyone who's losing their jobs right now. 30 million people, maybe even 40 million now. So I don't know. I mean, this thing is it's just bad. I mean, yes, it saved the environment a little bit, but I mean, at this point, it's like who the hell cares about the environment? I care about human lives. I hate to say that, but I care about humans over the environment. And you have all these sick people saying, or these crazy people saying, like, "Oh, humans were the virus. Humans were the plague." And it's like, I bet you're not saying that now that the numbers are getting up there, and that you're worried about your grandma dying or whatever. It's like, I don't know. But the thing is, I'm not worried about the coronavirus. I just hope that me, my girlfriend, my family don't get it. And if I do get it and I do die from it, it was my time to go. I mean, your time is limited. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. I had cancer yet last year, so I come to terms with, that I could die soon. I mean, I hope not, but there's really nothing I can do about it. It's unavoidable. Anytime I go outside, I'm risking my life. I'm risking my life with, getting in a car or just walking around. Someone could be driving around like a maniac. Going down the stairs, that's a risky business. I mean, it's just anything that you do, there's a risk to it. And I just don't want to live the rest of my life, in fear. I'm gonna go. I mean, if I'm gonna go out there with a mask on to go to work or to go to the grocery store and wash my hands. And if I get the virus, which I probably will, I mean, there's really nothing I can do about it. I'm just saying, just be ready for when you get the virus. It's gonna it's infecting the whole world, and it doesn't matter if there's a lockdown or not. If lockdown only it doesn't save lives. It just prolongs the period of herd immunity. You know, when you have a lockdown, you have less deaths initially, but then when you open back up, you're going to have all the deaths again, unless you have the vaccine, which is not going to come out until next year. So you're going to keep the economy, you're going to keep your country locked down and have all these other negative issues with when it comes to lockdowns, starvations and, unemployment and, suicides and whatever that come from being locked down and, going insane for all these months. You're going to do that just to avoid, you know, maybe, in the United States, a million deaths, at the most. And it just, I don't know. It just seems like it's just too, it's too, we're doing too much I mean, the thing is, it's like one life is too many, but, what will not get reported in the news with all these coronaviruses happening, deaths happening, is all the people who die from suicide, all the people who die from not getting elective surgeries, all the people who die from starvation, from not being able to get food. They have to go to a food bank. They have to go to, because they can't afford anything. All the people that are getting kicked out of their house. Every time there's a million. I think for every 40 million people out of work, I think every no no wait every 10 million people that are out of work, that's 40,000 people dead in America. That's the statistic. So we're adding to the deaths and those deaths will not get reported, unlike COVID-19. So I don't know.